honestly, wasn't it? We had kind of this sixth sense with pitches that we typically come out and we go, yeah, we got that, or no, absolutely not. But
we had a good feeling
in
the room and in general. But
yes, we had a good feeling, but it was there was a little bit of doubt because they had been so used to traditional learning, and we were possibly a little bit edgy for them, and that was kind of raised in the room, wasn't it? You know, so to actually find out and get that call was pretty special. We've been looking to do a women's emerging talent program for a long time, face to face. We've done a lot virtual, but actually we felt like we could elevate the whole experience by doing it face to face, and we were delighted.
Yeah, and it was very exciting to be able to do all the things we always had in our minds, and we knew that could be great, and we started designing right away.
It was interesting though, because we had a lot of thinking about what we could do, and then when we sat down, we were like, right, this is a female emerging high potential talent program. They're going to need different things. There's lots of different parts of the business. They work in different areas. They're different seniority, different tenures. Like, it's going to be more complicated than we first thought. One of the ideas that we always have is like, we need to start well, get a good first touch. And so we were thinking, how can we take them outside of the venue, and what can we do with them? And we initially, I think, had the idea of rickshaws.
Yeah, because we had done rickshaws before, we knew it works really well, it's really cool, and then we realised the first session would be on 7th of November, which is obviously not great for rickshaws.
Too risky for rickshaws in the weather,
Instead we came up with booking a big red double-decker bus and plan a route around London, pick up different speakers in different spots. And that was a perfect plan, and it was really, we spent a lot of time doing that, and then came to the day, and we left with the bus and stood still in traffic, and we would never make it to the first speaker, never mind the second speaker, so we kind of had to entertain the crowds while the rest of the team were in the background trying to change the route to a new route and ask the speakers if they can jump on the tube and go to a different spot and meet us there. And it somehow worked out perfectly, but it's a lot going on behind the scenes for that half an hour.
So it was really interesting. We managed to do a great job in terms of looking out, in terms of our design methodology, getting them outside, stimulus, brilliant, external speakers. And then it was like, right, what do we do to help them connect the dots back to themselves and make it meaningful in terms of their role within Gallagher? And so we came up with the concept beforehand to send them the learning stimulus of your TED Talk, right? And many of them had watched it, they'd loved it, but they hadn't actually connected the dots back to themselves and what it meant for them.
So my TED Talk was about my golden lines of failure, so all my biggest failure basically, and what good came of it. And they watched it before, they enjoyed it, they took a lot from it, but they didn't think we would use it on the day. And in the past we had done learning bursts where we spoke about golden lines in a different way with people, but just more like write it on paper and share it. And actually, in our own ambition, we have that value of like, don't be a 6 out of 10, and we realize that's a bit sexist to just write it on a paper. So we try to elevate it and think about what can we do to make it more tangible, to have an artifact for them to take away, which reminds them of that even later on and not just in the session. And then we came up with the idea of having these nice Japanese bows and golden pens for them to actually physically write, like draw these golden lines on the bows as well, and not just only to reflect and you have that time for yourself, but also to share it with the person next to them, and sharing it, like showing each line and the meaning of it is different to just going through a piece of paper. So that was, there were tears, there were smiles.
The connection level increased dramatically, but it was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So many of them actually said afterwards that they still have that bowl on their table as a reminder of like all the failure they faced and how they've come out of it stronger. So to embrace more of that was one of the key objectives. How can we embrace failure to be better at what we do? And I think that was definitely a positive outcome.